Hi, my name is Osvaldo Sanchez. I'm a member of MECATX and I'll be showing you how to build a robot car kit. And this is the finished touch of it. So we have our kit here. Of course, first thing first is opening the kit, like so. Then it's just taking everything out and experiment a little and see what we have. So the first thing first, what we have to do is the motors. So we have to find the tools to put them in. So the next part is finding the tools inside of this kit. So there will be two bags saying for motor to connect with for the motors for the kit. You can see that I have made 3. I'll be doing the 4th one. Here's the one tricky part that you have to be really careful of. When you grab this, you have to put it right next to the wires. You cannot put it at the other side, that will be the opposite. You have to put it at the same side. Now, we need both the bigger screws, the long ones, that came inside the bag for the motor. When you put it in, remember, the top part goes at the opposite part of the wires. So, like this, and this. Next, we need the nuts. Here. And you can tighten it with the screwdriver that the kit will give you. So, next step is both the boards. We can see that both of them are labeled A. That is very useful and explainable for everything. Here's one thing you can notice. One of them has a rectangle hole in here. The other one doesn't. The one that doesn't have the rectangle hole is the one that you'll be for the bottom. The next step you'll have to do is take out the tape over the board. Like so, and you have to do it for both of them, but we'll just do it one by one first. Okay, so we have to connect the motors with the board, and you can see I have connected 3. Here's one important thing that you have to be careful with these. For the metal part on top of the motor, it cannot be inward. It has to be outward, because how you think about the wheel of the motors, it has to be like in here and circling, of course. Now, you gotta be careful with these screws of holes. That each one of them are going to be different. That is going to go through here. Okay. So we're going to get 2 screws. And connect them, of course. So I always do this little part for me. Get one in and see if they can go through. Then screw it by hand just a bit and grab the other one and do the same thing with the other. Find it. If I find it, screw it just a bit. After it's screwed it's a little bit, just grab the screwdriver and make it tighter. And that's how you'll connect the motor with the board. Next, you'll need the motor control board. That's called 298N. So, you will need the bag for Uno L298N. And you will have the screws and the nuts. So, you make one of the tall board. We're in video. Oh, okay. One of them in here. Put the screw in here. The nut. And you'll do the same thing for all 3 screws. Okay, Next, we'll be needing the line followers. We have 3 of them. So for that, 1, 2, and 3. It has to be in order. And we'll be needing line tracking, the screws. So we'll be needing the gold screw and the nut first. So the gold screw will be, head will be over under the line follower, and the nut will go under here. Okay? Whoops. So this is going to be the hardest part. Okay. After you get your second one in, you grab the silver screw, put your line tracker under here. Then you screw the silver screw on top and tighten it, and it'll stay on, just like these two. So the next step we'll be needing is the top board. So you'll see this hole right here that we'll be putting in front. We also need the Uno board and the screws for the Uno that the bag will say for Uno and L298N. So the one part you gotta pay attention is there's only 3 screws, and you'll be putting, you can see the power plug right here, the power plug at my right side. That you'll see there's 2 screws right here and one screw hole right there that will easily fit in like this. Okay, after you put in the board, make sure that you don't screw on the board too tightly, because if you screw them on too tightly, it can break the board. So just make it finger tight. Okay. Next, we'll be needing the sensor board. When you see it, the left corner, you will see A0, A1 through A5. Next, you have to look at the Uno board, and the Uno board as well will have the markings for A0 through A5. So you want to align the pins with those and with all of the rest, and you just put it in. Now you've got to be very careful when putting them in, because you want to make all the pins in, and yeah. So after that, and voila, and we have the sensor board with the Uno board together. We'll need the infrared receiver and the bag that says for ID module. So I took out a screw and the gold screw as well, and you'll have 2 holes right here that you see I have screw 1 in already. So how I usually do, I put the screw under, grab the gold piece, and just tighten it. And you'll see in your kit that you have a red screwdriver that you can tighten later. Next, when we have the receiver, you want the silver part in front. Next, you'll be needing the nut, and just going on there and just tighten it as best as you can, and that's the next step you'll be doing. Next, you need the power plug, battery holder, and the black and red wires. On the power plug, you'll see that it has a positive and a negative side. You have to put the positive side for the red wires and the negative side for the black wires. And you have to screw them and put them inside and screw them tightly to get it connected. Now, you'll be needing for cell box and the battery holder, of course. So, you'll see on the board 4 holes right here. And we'll be putting the battery holder here. Make sure for the battery charger plug, it'll be on the left side because we'll be plugging it through here, through the Uno. So afterwards, we'll get the nut and the screw, and you'll be screwing the screw on top, and you'll be tightening it with the nut on the back, like so. Next, we'll be needing the SG90. On here is say the Power Tower Pro. And we need the holder board. Also, the bag that says for ultrasonic. The screws we will need in here is the M3 hex screws and the M2 cross screws. So you'll be needing 3 M3 hex screws and 2 M2 cross screws. The M3 nuts with the screws as well. After you screw in the SG90, like so, right here. Your next thing you'll need is the ultrasonic pan holder. Cut. After you put on the SG90, like so, we'll be now using the ultrasonic pan tilt holder. And we'll be needing the rest of the screws that came from the bag that we'll be putting on the board. Next, when you put on the sensor with the board, you'll be needing this white material. As well with the screws that come with it. So, how we're going to do it is, first thing first, right here, like so, and we have to screw it through both sides, and when you screw both sides, you'll be putting it over the SG90 and grabbing the small screw and tightening it in there. After we connected the sensor with the SG90 has wires that will be connecting with the sensor board. So, we go through here. Okay, so you have different colors. We are going to put the orange color with SG, red with plus SV, brown with ground. So, we're plugging, and voila. After connecting the sensor, we'll be needing the red and black white wires, the short one, and we are going to connect it with the infrared receiver. And right here, how convenient it is, it said infrared. So we're going to connect them. So, like so, plug, and done. Next, we'll need the 4 black wires. We are going to connect it to the sensor, and the board has the ultrasonic sensor. So, connecting. And next, we'll need the 6 black wires. So we are going to connect it on here that say L298N, and we are going to connect it to the 289N board. So here we gotta go through and connect like so, and done. So next we need to connect is the power cord with the L298 board. So you can see there's 2 right here connected with the 6 ones. So we'll be connecting here. Like so, done. Next, we'll need the black and red and white wires, and we are going to connect it to the tracking line sensors. So, and we're going to connect it to the sensor board. And the sensor board has the design, name right here, line tracking model. So, I'll be plugging one in. I'll be plugging the first one. In, out. Here's the second board. In, out. Connecting with the first one. And done. And you do it for the other 2 that are here. After connecting the other 2 sensors, you'll be plugging your Bluetooth. And the board will say Bluetooth on. So, voila. Next, we'll be connecting the motors to the L298. So, each plug, you plug to the closest one. So here. Here's the right side. Now the left side. Done. After connecting the wires, you'll be needing the 4 acrylic base plate bag, and the bag say 4 acrylic base plate. So these will be connecting to the boards, and the screws I always do like this, step by step. After you screw all 6 on the bottom board, you place the top board over and just get the screw, put it over, and get them tight. After screwing all 6 of them, you put on the wheels. You can see that I have 3 put on already. I'll put on the 4th one to show. You gotta be careful of the how it looks to connect it to the motor. So, and it's pretty hard to put it on as well. So, let's do this.
Wait, something's not. She's burning the thread.
So, connecting the wheels like this, you see? Now, you'll be connecting the batteries. So, be careful what you have some batteries in the kit that is ultra fire, and it's 4200 milliamp and 3.7 volts. They're very unique, and have fun playing with the car. And that's how you build a smart car.